Life got its tough moments, and when harsh realities like abuse, loss, or violence hit our vulnerable side, it can be overwhelming. Most times, unprocessed pain burrows deep and surfaces later when triggered. Acknowledging these wounds and reaching out for support can be a game changer.
Occurrences that overwhelm our body's natural ability to that we all should make mental health care a normal part of our routine.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to Shantia's Haven. We have Dr. Delphine Fanfon with us, and I think she will help me to clarify this issue of trauma and some questions that have been boggling my mind lately. Welcome to Shantia's Haven, Delphine.
Thank you so much for having me, Shanti.
We are happy having you. The last time we had you, you talked about Me for Real, and it was so enriching. So many people enjoyed it. If you have not watched it, go back and watch it. It was about identity, being yourself, and all of that, and it was so enriching to us. Today we are coming to another sensitive topic. We need people like you in our society today, because some topics, they just get us confused. We don't know what to do about it. Trauma. When we talk about trauma, what do we really mean?
Trauma refers to occurrences that overwhelm our body's natural ability to cope. So built into each one of us is a defense mechanism, a coping mechanism.
Okay.
When you're stressed out, it is what kicks in that helps you to be able to self-regulate and find a place of functionality. Traumatic events are events that overwhelm that natural body coping mechanism. And so to protect you, because of the magnitude of the event, the brain files it away so that you can gain some degree of functionality in the moment. But then because it is filed away, it needs to be dealt with. And that is where a lot of the times the problem arises when it is not treated as it should be.
Okay, I'm getting it now. Yes. So when do we seek help when it comes to trauma? Because in our African society, especially here in Cameroon, we know that we're supposed to be strong. Like you go to school and maybe they're doing something to you and our parents will say, you have to be strong, you're too weak, you have to be strong, you have to be. So we don't have to be crybabies, we don't have to run for help every now and then. So when we are older and we're also facing these things, I don't know, when should we seek for help?
To answer that question, I think I'm going to say two things. The first thing is that we all should make mental health care a normal part of our routine, so that we are intentionally doing things that keep us healthy and build our resilience before trauma happens. Because the biggest factor that determines how a traumatizing event affects somebody is not even the size of the event, it's the person's resilience before the event hits.
How do we build this resilience?
By intentionally giving ourselves an emotional outlet to process things. This is what I mean by that. Because life happens so quickly, most of the times we go from this to this to this to this to this, never stopping to get real with what actually is going on in our lives. And so from a normal conversational point of view, we should each make processing the things that we go through a part of our day, because that's what giving it an outlet is. It's acknowledging that these things are happening and then letting it out so that pressure doesn't build and weaken our coping ability, which then makes us vulnerable when trauma happens.
Okay. There's something you said, processing the things that happen. How can I process? I don't know, because there's some people, I don't know what you mean by processing it, so that we help someone who is going through this kind of situation.
To process, you can process as an individual.
Okay.
Depending on, personally, I process my thoughts, the things that happen to me through personal reflection. And because I'm a Christian, of course, with the Lord. You know, it's like looking back at your day and going back step by step through the things that happened, and then paying attention to the things that bothered you.
Okay.
The reactions, the emotional reactions that you have when something is happening. It's an invitation to process. And what process is acknowledging the emotion associated with that thing, and then leaning in to understand it. So that by doing so, you're growing in self-awareness and that thing is losing its power over you. The most difficult traumas to deal with are those that have a heavy emotional impact, which then burns it into your memory, and until it is processed, it remains a trigger. And that's why sometimes you might pass somewhere and hear a song. And that song just sets into motion it's like a ripple effect of emotions that you cannot control. If you look closely, you realize that maybe something in the past was happening maybe when that song was playing. And in some cases, you may not even have been fully aware that that's the song that was playing when, for instance, you were sexually abused, you know, but your mind registered it. And then suddenly you hear that song and it triggers the locked away emotions related to the trauma that you experienced, and that can throw your world upside down.
Wow.
It's triggers that indicate trauma. You see, somebody might say something to you, and the way to know that there is untreated or unprocessed issues is gauge your reaction.
Okay.
If a child cries and you get upset and you are just screaming, that's it's too big a reaction to a crying child. And that's a signal that what you're reacting to is not just that child crying now. That child's cry is triggering something. Maybe you lost the child after the child cried. You see what I mean? So it is, and that's the beauty of the way God created the human body. When your brain stores away traumatizing events so that they don't cripple you, that the brain reintroduces it through triggers so that you can lean into it and process it and then reintegrate it into your story and move forward when those things have lost their power over you.
Hello viewers, watch out for trauma triggers in you. Please don't sleep on them. Oh, when it comes, find solutions. So what can we do when we get these triggers? Is there somewhere we can go to? Is there someone we can talk to? Because sometimes people also are scared to share their issues with people. Other times people have tried to share and they didn't get the desired results. Not that the results were too hard for them to follow, but it was rather detrimental to them. So they decide to keep it to themselves. So as a trauma expert, who can you advise that we go to when we have these issues?
You know, that's one of the biggest passions in my heart in Cameroon, especially because mental health is not very developed in Cameroon. And what ends up happening is people go to their pastors, their friends, their mothers or whoever, and I mean, congratulations, first of all, thank you to these pastors and friends and those that have lended a listening ear to people when they come. I say we all should grow our awareness of what trauma is and how it affects people so that we can understand how to deal with it. Because one of the dangers of not being helped properly is that re-traumatization can occur, and that's something we cannot enter into right now. But who do you go to? Go to somebody that knows what to do with your trauma. In Cameroon right now, I encourage people first of all to try certain techniques which can help them first of all in the absence of another person. There is one of those techniques is the empty chair technique. Like the name sounds, it's where you pull up an empty chair and you put somebody on that chair and you talk to the person. That is very effective when your trauma concerns somebody. Take, say, for instance, somebody who was raped. You may not even know the person that raped you. And even if you know the person, you cannot go talk to that person. So you put that person who violated you on that chair and talk to that person. Say whatever it is that your heart needs to let out. And that's you releasing the valve on the pain, the pressure, and everything that has built over the years as you have reflected on the thing that was done to you. That's the first one of the do-it-yourself techniques that can really help you. The second thing that you can do is, and probably we can share the link later, it's called a tapping technique.
Tapping technique.
Yes, it is where you tap different nerve points in your body to desensitize your body to the triggers of trauma. It's online, it's for free. We can share that link, and there is a cartoon that would walk you through it. You start by tapping. There are key points in your body that when you tap, they actually desensitize your body to some of those things that you're going through. and then confiding now who now to go to. It took me a long time to finally get to your question, but go to somebody that even if they don't know trauma and how to deal with it, does this person love me?
Okay.
Does this person feel safe?
Okay.
Yeah, when you think about that person, does it feel safe? Because if you're dealing with trauma, you without safety, you are exposing yourself to re-traumatization. If it's the kind of person that will take your story and go and tell another person, that's a no. Don't open up to that kind of a person. Because the only thing worse than not going to somebody for help when you are dealing with trauma is going to the wrong person. Because then it can create other things which you're already very compromised to be able to deal with. And then go to God, right? If you're a Christian, talk to God. The amazing thing is that sometimes just because he's not a physical being, he can feel so distant. But truth is, if we are able to connect with him, he can help us to process some of these things that we are going through. And who else can you go to? If you know a mental health counselor, if you know somebody who is trained to counsel, you can go to your pastor as well, or some of the people. But the key is, does this person feel safe?
At least this gives us an idea of who we can go to when we feel these triggers. Who can be traumatized? Can it happen to a child? Can it happen? We'd like to know. This platform is a platform for family,
right?
And so we wish to know if a child too can be traumatized, and parents, and if so, what can you say about that?
Everybody can be traumatized.
Okay.
Even unborn children.
Even unborn children?
Yes.
Wow.
I've worked with a lady who was running away from the crisis in the Northwest region. She was pregnant at the time. When this child came out, the child wasn't talking. Okay. The time when the speech centers of the child's brain were supposed to have been developed, the child could not talk. And the child was already being labeled by different people for different things. When she brought the child to me and I observed the child, I asked her, tell me the story of his pregnancy. Okay. Turns out, when she felt the most threatened and they had to leave and were running away in the night, she was carrying this baby in her womb. The baby felt that. That was the trauma that shut the child's mouth up. And as we worked and processed and helped the child, today the child talks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So even children, especially children, a lot of us adults, we are dysfunctional because of traumas that happened in our childhood that we are not even aware of. Yeah. And the reason why childhood trauma is such a big deal is because for children, trauma can be caused even by perceived events.
Okay.
Take, for instance, a couple that is always fighting. If the child, for instance, does something and then the mother and the father start fighting, that child, the brain is not yet developed to be able to separate the correlation between those things. That child can watch what is happening and perceive it as a reaction to something they did or didn't do. And that can traumatize the child. And the child can carry that in themselves and blame themselves for it. When it wasn't really something. So with children, they can be traumatized by actual events the same way that they can be traumatized by perceived violence. And that's why if you're a couple and you have issues with each other, please, when you want to fight, lock the door. Those children don't need to witness what is happening between the two of you, because they are and that's the problem. It has to do with brain development. Parents sometimes assume that this child doesn't know anything, but the children are most inquisitive when in those tender ages. That's when the software of their life is being written by your reactions, your actions, your words. There are lots of children. Just yesterday I was talking with somebody who believes till today. She told me, I cannot read and understand. I said, but every time I talk with you, you make sense. You're a teacher by profession. What do you mean you don't have the ability to read? What it was, I was inviting her to participate in a program. I said, we'll read 2 chapters of a book every day. She started literally shaking. I asked her, I said, what is going on? She said, she doesn't have the ability to read and understand. I said, that sounds like it's nurtured, it's learned inability. Your brain, and then sure enough, there was a story there about the things that the father used to say to her and all that, and how that has shaped her. She's a teacher today, but she says that when she sits down to read a book, she cannot understand it. So everybody can be traumatized. Babies that are still in the womb, when they are born, adolescents, adults, parents, etc. And the painful thing about trauma is that those who are traumatized traumatize others, whether they know it or they don't know it.
Yeah. Wow. Thank you so much. We can go on and on and on and on.
Yes.
But thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You said they can also come to trauma centers for help, and I know that you have one. Can you just tell our viewers where they can find your center and how they can get to you, where you're located, so that in case we have these cases, they can know where to go?
Sure. The Me For You Counseling Center is located at Jouvence, Monte Jouvence, just beside Hotel Jouvence. If you come there every weekday from 8 to 4, there will be somebody there to attend to you. We also have a trauma hotline. That number will be written on your screen in case you don't want to come in person, because that's one of the things we're finding. People don't feel comfortable being seen, but if they can talk to somebody on the phone, they do that. So you can use those two outlets. You can either come in person or you can use the trauma hotline to reach out, and we will be glad to have conversations about it.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm so happy that we have this kind of resource in our country, because it's everywhere. There's so many people who are going through one issue or the other. Please, any last word for our viewers?
Please take your mental health seriously. Take your mental health seriously. It is not something that somebody can do for you, because even when you see somebody, that person cannot process your trauma for you. You are the person to do the hard work. If the symptoms are there, if it feels as if something is not right, if your reactions and responses are suspicious, if you're having flashbacks about something that happened long ago, if you wake up in the night panicking in your sleep, if you are having anxiety, if you are struggling with depression, your mood is changing drastically, those are red flags that suggest that something might have impacted you more than you realized. If you don't take the first step, no matter how much Shansia's Heaven cares about you, no matter how much the people around you care about you, that situation is going to remain unconquerable because you didn't participate. So please be an active participant in your own health, in your own wellness. Take it seriously, because like Shansia just said, the reality in this nation is one that is already a cause for concern.
Be an active participant in making sure that your mental health is healthy. So parents, help your children as well. If you can't help them, find someone who can help you help them. And dear parents, help yourselves as well. And if you're that person they talk to often, it is okay not to know something. If they come to you with an information and you don't know how to process it for them, you can seek help somewhere. You must not disclose the person's identity. Or if the person is okay, you can always refer that person somewhere else. That doesn't make you less of who you really are. So thank you so much for watching Shansia's Haven. Trauma is real. Take care of your mental health and that of your children. See you some other time on Shansia's Haven. Remember to always leave it better than you met it. Bye-bye.